We know this ain't right. Man, this can't be life. We gotta unite.
All right, all right. Peace, family, peace. Thank you for your patience. Thank you for waiting. We are now live and we are going to have a magnificent show for y'all tonight. Apparently, we are back. Without further ado, let me officially welcome Brother Yosef back to the platform. Welcome back, my brother.
Gratitude. I'm
In-
grateful to be here, brother.
Indeed, it's always a pleasure having you on here, my brother. Always a pleasure getting the knowledge from you. Um, yeah, I got this book, and you're the book man. You remind me of besides Bobby Hemmett, you got to be the only speaker that gives that many references, bro. Like you and Bobby, y'all got that game on lock. So
Hey.
shout out to the brother Bobby Hemmett. You ever seen this one right here, bro? I just got this one. You ever see this one?
I have not seen that one.
Yeah, it's a good one. I started there was this white dude on YouTube. I forgot his name. If I remember his name, I'll tell you his channel. But he was talking, and his talk was interesting. And he referenced this book, and he made me go get it. And it's a good one, man. I got a question that I'm gonna refer to it later. So we'll bring it back up later in the conversation. But Yosef, man, this is your subject. When people think about this type of stuff, they're like, yo, you gotta holler at brother Yosef with that. So we talking about spells, my brother. I remember in the 90s, you would hear about spells more often. You would hear about love spells and voodoo dolls and stuff like that. You don't hear about it as much now, I feel, but it's still out there and it's still big in a lot of different cultures. Let's talk about this spell thing, brother Yosef. Some people feel as though it's only as real as you make it.
Right.
Can't put a spell on me if I don't believe the shit. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
What's your thoughts on spell and it not working on people who don't even have the mindset? Like what Hove said. Hove said, what's a king to a god?
What's a god to a king?
And he said, what's a god to a non-believer?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? Who don't believe in anything? Like,
exactly.
Nigga, I don't even believe in God. Nigga, what you threatening me with karma for? You know what I'm saying? What's your thoughts on spells and people who's like that shit don't even work, brother Yosef?
Well, first of all, family, when you look at spells, and I want everybody to really understand this and grasp this, right? Spells are a group of wordings that you use to create an incantation. That's really what the definition of spells is. That's really what a spell is, right? Mm-hmm. What a lot of people refer to as spells are like what they're really calling. It's really what it is a ritual, or what some people may call a ceremony, right? You may go into a ceremony. So when a lot of people give out so-called spells, what they're really saying is the most important part of this work that I'm giving you is the words. Mm-hmm. Is when you put this stuff together, the words are important. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And that is a very powerful thing, because if you're going to do spell work, family, you got to make sure that your air element, your lungs, and everything else is very powerful. You have to speak things with energy, command things into existence. You have to be first. It all starts here first. Mm-hmm. Because if you don't have the confidence to speak the spell correctly, ain't nobody going to believe you. The spirit's going to believe you. So with that being said, a person who has a lot of energy and they know how to put energy into their spell and then put the spell into the ritual or the ceremony, I don't care if a person don't believe it or not, they're going to get hit. You understand? With the love spell, whatever person, because it all depends on the person that's casting it, the person that's throwing it out there. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. That's what it comes down to. Not really about a person not believing it. That I understand that philosophy. That's an old hoodoo understanding. The black cat run across your car and all that type of stuff. Oh, you hexed. That's not true. But a black cat just ran across my car 2 weeks ago. You know what I'm saying? So and I used to go visit my homeboy when I lived in New York. Black cat used to always run past my car. So that's not really what it is. That really goes to people who don't understand magic, and they get fearful based on those things. Right. But so when we come down to spell work, it's really just spells or incantations. Indeed. Right? Incantations are nothing but spells. Right. So I want people to understand that first, to really understand what a spell is. You know what I mean? To really understand what a spell is.
Well, I'm sure a lot of people will want to know, brother Yosef, how can you tell if someone is putting a spell on you? Sometimes bad things happen to people and they're like, God damn, did a nigga put a spell on me? God damn, this is the third time in a week. How do you tell if somebody's putting a spell on you, brother?
Very, very simply. First of all, spells happen to people every day, right? whether they know it or not. You can get a spell put on you by watching TV. Mm-hmm. That's a fact. You can get a spell put on you by a commercial, right? Mm-hmm. So a person who is that's why I tell people, get away from negative people, right? Because negative people gonna talk behind your back. They're casting spells when they do that, right? If a person keeps putting that person ain't nothing, or we don't like them anyway. That person is they're a loser, right? And none of that may be true, but they're just putting all these negative words on you, just every day, just hating on you. A hater is a spellcaster. You know what I'm saying? They just keep saying negative things towards you over and over and over and over and over. Damn. And none of that be true for the most part. They just don't like you, right? So you have to be careful because people can cast spells like that. And if you just sitting around and not have any level of protection on, some of that negativity going to start to get here first. It's not so much it's going to hit your aura. It's going to get in here first. And eventually you're going to do something negative, right? You're going to approach that person and say, hey, man, I heard you've been talking about me, blah, blah, blah. And instead of just understanding negative people, that's how they are. That's what they need to do. Some people came on the planet to be haters. That's it. They didn't come on the planet for no other reason. That's a fact, Like Bobby Hemmings said, sometimes your brother come down just to keep you down. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we have to understand that, and when we understand that, we can understand the whole of what spells are, So yeah, family, watching TV, that same music you keep hearing with the same word, that's a spell being cast. Right. You go to McDonald's is 13, subconsciously you're getting a spell cast on you. Television, all television do is cast spells. Right. We'll keep it real. You know what I'm saying? So that's what that is. All day, every day.
So we I referenced Hove earlier, and for those who are in the hip hop community, knew I was talking about Jay-Z. So to use him as an example, the fact that I reference him using the name Hove, is that a spell within itself to say I'm gonna have the world call me Hova or Hove, because that's this grand term, this godlike term, and when people call me that, I just call them that. That's going to give me energy. So that is that a spell within itself?
Yes, it is to a degree. Yes, it is. Just like somebody calling me Brother Yosef. That's the name I made up. That represents my higher self. So when somebody calls me that, they're calling on my higher self. They're casting a spell to channel my higher self. Hey, Brother Yosef. My real name is Joseph. Yeah. But people call me Brother Yosef, so that's what that is. When a person says that, if somebody's talking about you right now, your subconscious mind could hear it all the way across the water, all the way across seas. Your subconscious mind could pick up anything. So yes, over time, a negative person talking negative, the spells and stuff, it can come at you. And also, Hova, when you call a person DMX, Busta Rhymes, all those terms you're channeling that person's energy of what they believe they are. You know what I mean? So yeah. And that Hova, that's really just Jay-Z's higher self. That's all. What he called himself. Hova is Christ. Everybody's Christ.
Right. I mean? No, indeed. Brother Yosef, you mentioned love spells earlier. If they really work, don't you think there wouldn't be so many lonely people in the world today? that would be a hell of a market. That would be, man, that people will be making billions. If it seems like this is what it seems like, Brother Yosef. If love spells really work, and I'm a powerful magician who casts love spells for people, I would be a billionaire in the way the state of the world is with all these apps, these data apps and everything. So what's your thoughts on love spells and why it don't seem to work for people the way it should work?
Yeah, there's different types of love spells. The first love spell could be you just somebody helping you line up or find your mates, right? I even do spells for that for people. Hey, here's a spell to help you find your mates or help you find the person you're supposed to line up with. I have that spell right in my book. You know what I'm saying? But there's other spells that you're going to make a person like you or love you. You know what I'm saying? That's more of a dark spell, right? That's more of you're going against a person's will. That's a spell that you kind of really don't want to do, right? You don't want to do. But people, when they get lonely enough, and I've met people and I know people that have been through these type of spells, which are always the worst type of spells there are. Right. You know what I'm saying? The love spells, because sometimes these are easy to do. For some reason, people find out how to do the love spell. They master that one. Do you understand? Yeah. And I gotta be honest, usually the sisters, they want to snatch somebody, man. They just put a love spell on them, and he crazy about her. But it can backfire too, because when you don't want them no more, it's hard to get them away.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? It's hard to get them away. So yeah, a person, everybody know about the blood in the spaghetti and the binding of a person to you by putting blood in the spaghetti. That's the oldest one there is.
Yeah.
I'm telling y'all, don't do it.
Mm.
Don't do it. It's dangerous, man. It's dangerous because you may bind this person to yourself and you don't even know this person.
Right, right.
You ain't had a chance to live with them for a year or 2 years. You don't know this person. You may hate them. And now you're trying to get rid of them. And it ain't working. Now they putting their hands on you and beating you up and knocking you across the head because they don't know what else to do. They don't know how to channel it out anyway. I can't leave you, girl. You know what I'm saying? You ain't going nowhere. And nobody knows you don't put a love spell on this man.
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? It's crazy.
Let's talk about the English language, brother Yosef, and spells. You know, the word within itself, spelling. When you're spelling a word, you know, spelling the letters in a word. The word that majority of people can relate to, job, and job in Hebrew means persecuted. So, do you think when we take on the functions of these words, do we automatically become a victim of whatever the definition of that word is? So if the word job means persecuted in Hebrew, are we destined to be persecuted if we have a job? Is that how the English spelling works?
Well, you know, the English spelling is bastardized, man. And I always tell my people, if you're going to do a spell, don't do it in English because it has too many misrepresentative words, right?
Yeah.
So if I say a word like quad lux sanctity, quad lux sanctity, it means the holy fire of God. It's a Latin word. It's a Latin incantation that means the holy fire of God, right? Quad lux sanctity. Now, when I say that, I'm saying it with power. Now, I use this spell when I'm in negative combat against negative entities. And anybody out there, they can use it. You know, I've given this away on my Patreon like a year and a half ago when I was giving out some incantations people can use. So this is a term that can work. But if your air element is not strong in your body, it ain't really gonna work for you. And somebody say, "Well, brother Yosef, I tried, it ain't work." Well, you got to build your air element. You got to learn how to say things with power. Say things like you mean it. Say things loudly and say it with power, like you know what's going to work. You have to practice these type of things, right? To be in command of what you're doing. That's really what I'm trying to say. So if you're going to do spells, I recommend everybody find a language, Hebrew, Latin. Even the Arabic language is very powerful. Some African languages, West African languages. Find a language that maybe from your people or something, and speak that language when you do your rituals and spells over English. Because I believe also they gave us the English language to kind of pull us down. Because even when the elite, the kings and queens, and when they do their spells, they don't say English, even though they apparently speak the best type of English there is. They don't be saying English when they do spell work, when they do high magic. They're doing Latin or Hebrew. I promise you that. And sometimes they're doing Arabic language, depending on what the situation. They may have a jinn they may need to cast out. They using the Arabic. You know what I'm saying? They may need to get down with some nature and invoke light. They're going to be using, you know, the Latin. They may need to demand stuff and use the literal power of the creator. They're going to be using Hebrew. You see what I'm saying? It all depends on what type of spell it is and what you're trying to do, but stay away from English. So I want everybody on here. Yes, magic takes work. So you're going to have to practice. So practice using and writing your spells in other languages. It's going to greatly benefit you.
Indeed. Yeah, great advice. Let's talk about a form of spell that a lot of people feel as though is the most powerful, and that is when people suggest something to you. So if I was to say, brother Yosef, listen, man, you wearing that purple, be careful, because when you wear that purple, there's a certain insect or a certain entity that comes after people that wear purple. Now, I suggested it. Now, what if you go the rest of the year and before you put a purple, you're like, damn, that the entities might get me, or them insects might get me. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people fall into that. When people suggest something, then they end up, that suggestion stays with them. So talk to me about the power of suggestion and what it actually does to the person.
Suggestion is very powerful because you're pretty much taking control of that person. You're implanting a program into that person when you suggest things to them. Yeah. Many years ago, when brother Yosef was deep on the left-hand path, heavy, I was practicing vampirism years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, brother. I walked it all. You know.
Like, give me an example. I gotta know.
I'm gonna tell you one time when I used it on a person years ago. You know what I'm saying? When I was trying to find myself, you know, Bobby Hemming was banging left hand path. I'm in it deep. You understand? I'm in it hardcore. So, I remember this person I was working with. I learned that when you're being, I'm trying to figure if I should say this, and I'm gonna say it anyway. When you're using suggestive language, you got to go in and out. You can't be there talking to the person and suggesting things. You got to say it and be gone.
Right.
So I should say, hey man, you all right? You look like you got a cold today. Oh, I do? No. Oh, well, you know. So before he even finished, I'm gone. Right. I was mastering that. So I come back again. Hey man, you sure? Your eyes watery. Oh man. I don't feel nothing. All right. I want to say another word to the person. Yeah. That's the person I didn't like too. Right. Yeah. So I came back and, hey man, was that you? I heard coughing. I heard somebody coughing, man. That wasn't you. Oh, all right. Before, at the end of the day, I promise, this dude was sick.
Damn.
He had a cold. He's like, man, I think you was right, man. I know we don't talk a lot, but good looking up, man. I said, yeah, no problem. He don't know I put a spell on him. I put a spell on him, right? Practicing my dark magic. I ended up putting a spell on him. Suggesting things into a subconscious mind that he had no clue. About. So, yeah, suggestive terms and messing with a person's subconscious mind is the most powerful. And of course, we know that's what a lot of people use today in music and everything else, because once you can get to a person's subconscious mind, it's over. It's over, man. You pretty much implanted a program, right? Whether they understand it or not, you implanted a program through suggestive terms.
So let me ask you this now. With that being said, if somebody comes up to you and says, Brother Yosef, how that little business you got going on doing? Should you correct them on the spot? Like, say you answer. I'd be like, your brother Yosef, how that little business you got going on? And you just answer the question in your mind. You like, that nigga ain't have to say that. But you answer the question. Right. It sort of seems like you're accepting the term he just put on you. So if a person says something sarcastic like that, should you correct them to kind of reverse what they're trying to put on you?
Well, yeah, it depends on what it is. You know what I'm saying? A person asks me like that, I'll just tell them. It depends on if I know the person, how good I know the person. Right. I don't mind that person telling people certain levels of my business or what I do. Hey, yeah, such and such. I may tell them, right? But if I don't know a person like that, and I know this person don't talk to me, and they start saying that, oh, you're being sarcastic. You're trying to get to know what's going on in my life. I'm not telling you nothing. You know what I'm saying? So that's how it could be. So yeah, people will try to be funny like that. And you got to be smart enough to catch that. I always tell people about being nice. Being nice is a fool. It means you're a fool when you're being nice, right? Woo. So I have a very innocent looking face. I'm not innocent at all. You know what I'm saying? I have a very innocent looking face, right? And I am a good person, but at the same time, I should tell people at my job, I'm not a nice person at all. I'm a person that's gonna respect you. Right. I'm a respectable person. I'm gonna treat you the way you treat me. Right. And that's something I've mastered in my life. I treat people the way I want to be treated. Even as a person I don't like, I still treat that person the way I want to be treated. If there's something really rough where I feel like we're going to argue, I put myself in that person's shoes. And I think about it from their perspective. Then I come back to me. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, brother. Powerful stuff, man.
Yeah, this is stuff people encounter on a daily basis. And most of it falls on, you said in the beginning, most of it falls under the category of hate. We don't use the term spell, but hate, like you said, hate, you said it earlier. Yes. Haters are constantly casting spells all day long, man.
Hurt, and when people are hurt people. You know what I'm saying? So a person could be hurt and they don't even know it. And what I mean by that is they could be hurt from their traumas they had growing up. And the mama was always rude to them. Daddy was always rude to them. So they're just naturally rude. I've met people like this before. They're just naturally a rude person, right? And they don't know, they just rude, right? So that person may try to be rude to you and you're not going for it. You know how to put that spell on me. Mm-hmm. Now I got to act like you all the time when you come around. I got to be rude to you. You're not going to have that power over me. I'm just going to separate myself from you. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to separate myself from you. And that's the best thing to do.
You know what I fell for a while, it took me a while to say, I got to stop accepting that when somebody because people will approach you with all of these, they're like selling these perceptions of life and they want you to buy them. So a lot of people will come up to me, especially when I was in New York. I lived in New York years ago and I was a street vendor and I was working outside. and people just come and be like, yo, this shit crazy out here, right? Man, this world is fucked up, right, my nigga? And normally you just be like, yeah, shit crazy, bro. Yeah, shit fucked up. And I had to learn, like, I gotta stop responding like that. So when you say being polite or trying to be nice to somebody, or you just trying to not be combative with whatever the person is saying, and end up hurting yourself in the long run, brother. Definitely end up hurting yourself in the long run. So I definitely hear what you're saying, my brother.
Yeah. Speaking on that, it's a lot of people that's gonna come around like that. And I just tell people, some people I think do things on purpose. Yeah. I think some people come around and they say things they know they're trying to subconsciously get to, because people run game.
Yeah.
Right? People run game. I'm not from New York City, but I'm from upstate New York. And look, people still ran game every day. You can't trust nobody. You know how it is. You can't trust nobody. It's hard to trust people. Down here in Texas, people are so friendly. Hey, how you doing, sir? I'm like, man, I don't know you. You know what I'm saying? That's like my first response. Like, I don't know you, bro. But down here, people are friendly. They open. And it'd be weird to me. It's just because I have a program. I have a program that was put into me, a negative program, because I shouldn't be like that. But it's a hardcore program that's been in me since I was a baby. Hey, you can't trust everybody. You can't trust everybody. And sometimes, don't get me wrong, it protects me. It helps me and it makes me think smarter. But at the same time, those are programs that we have to realize. And I realized that through shadow work. Like, man, I got a problem with letting people in sometimes, because where I'm from, everybody got a scam and everybody, they're setting you up to rob you or something.
Yeah. Let me ask you this, brother Yosef. So if I see a Christian brother, regular Christian brother or sister on the street, I don't really know they're Christian until I see them praying. If I see them wearing a cross, they got to give me something. They have a Bible in their hand. Same thing with a Muslim brother or sister, or a Jewish brother or sister. They're usually dressed a certain way that gives it away that they're doing what they're doing. Otherwise, I want to know what faith they belong to. There's something about people who are into witchcraft that a lot of times I could tell just by their aura, how they look, that they do magic before they even say it. And I don't know it with the Christians or the Islamic or whatever, but there's something about people that's into like witchcraft and things of that nature, that they have a certain look. What do you think this look might be that I'm able to spot that I don't see with the Christians or the Muslims or the Jewish people?
I believe, brother, what you really sensing is their energy, right? You're picking up on their energy. Usually these people have been working with the elements. They've been calling on deities. They've been working with spells, incantations, rituals, ceremonies. And when you work on these things, the energy lingers in your aura. That's a fact. That's why after a really powerful ritual, you have to ground yourself. If you don't, you'll have your mind to be running all night. You ain't gonna be to sleep. You literally got to go outside and get barefoot and ground yourself. Stand on the ground. Maybe hold a onyx in your hand, or a hematite is the best. Hold a hematite in your hand and ground yourself, because you have all this energy build up. So some people, what you're seeing, brother, is actually the person's aura. You're sensing the person's aura. You know what I'm saying? Without even, because I can pick up on the same thing. Like, this person, I can sense something about you. Like, you different. And, Christian, because sometimes people who don't have eyes to see think I'm a Christian. Right. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm a very respectable person. I'm like, hey, how you doing? How your mama doing? Everything all right? Yeah, okay, cool. And I just don't give off this bad vibe to people, right? And if I start talking, they think, oh, he a Christian. Then I start talking about metaphysics. Oh, he the devil. You know what I'm saying? But every metaphysical person it's already happened in Houston. I was in a Walmart, and a lady she walked right by me. Oh, blessed be, blessed be. I'm like, now why would she say that to me? She must see something in me. Right, you know what I'm saying? Right. And that's how it be. I think some people, I don't think I know you and other people, we just see that in people's aura. Like, there's something about you. You can be wearing regular clothes. Yeah. There's something about you that's divine. That's really what it is.
Very interesting. Very interesting. In terms of, I referenced this book. Where's this book at? So I showed you this book earlier. I got this book, seen a good video, and I got this book. And I wanted to ask you something about spells. Now, the book says it's talking about thought forms, and the subconscious mind doesn't know when you're talking about somebody else or talking about yourself. It perceives everything in your environment as the extended part of your body. So if I'm putting a spell on somebody, before that spell gets to that person, the thought forms that I am emitting to that person first must exist within my aura, and it lingers within my aura. So if I have hatred, if I have anger, if I have lust, or whatever I have for another person, it's almost like it's coming right, it's hitting me first. So with that thought frame, are spells, what do you think about that when you look at it from that perspective? To anybody who's out there putting spells or making spells, the fact that they're affecting themselves with the spell first before they're affecting anybody in the external environment.
And that I love that, because that is so true. So when you're casting a spell, everything that you want to happen with the spell, you're going to think about it first in your mind.
Yeah.
When you think about it, you're casting thought forms. Now, if you want to do a negative spell, positive, let's say negatively first. Person's doing something negative. All the anger and hate they have for this person, they're going to visualize it.
Yes.
Right? That's what I would do.
Yes.
You would visualize the hate and anger you have for this person. Family, if y'all don't put emotions into rituals, into spells and rituals, it ain't going to work.
It ain't going to work. Yeah.
Some of y'all call, text, email, and hey, I tried it, it didn't work. First of all, it's a ritual. That means you're supposed to keep doing it over and over and over and over and over until it works. You're supposed to practice it. Second of all, if you ain't put some emotion into it, it ain't going to work, whether it's a negative or positive spell. Right? So at the end of the day, yes, you're going to create a thought form first. Now, your job, once you build up this energy, this thought form, is to push it towards that person. I'm not going to talk about how to do it negatively, but positively. Right? If you want to do something positive for yourself, you're going to hold your picture in your hand and you're going to think about all the positive things you want to happen for yourself, speaking into existence with a commanding energy, speaking into existence. As a matter of fact, if you're doing it for yourself, all you got to do is speak it. And we all know the science of that, right? So that's what it is. You can create positive thought forms, negative thought forms, right? But in my opinion, the most powerful spell that you can do is a sigil. A sigil is wording that you say, right? But you write it down, and people got different ways they cast it out. They burn it up. They take the ashes, put it in their pocket. There's different ways people do it. So a sigil is a spell that is written down, even with sigils, right? I teach this in my Patreon. Write them in other languages. Some people write sigils in English. That works. But if you want to give them more power, write your sigils in other languages. That will give the sigil a lot more power, a whole lot more power. And if you can, write it in Dragon's Blood ink. Write it in Dragon's Blood ink and write it in another language. I don't care if you got to Google translate it, whatever you got to do, look it up and write it down, family. That's the best way to do a sigil over just writing into English.
So would you say the sigils are more powerful than the mudras? Remember we did a show on the mudras early in the year? Sigils.
Well, that's a little bit different. I would say now that's a good point, because the mudras themselves are mostly like you putting a spell on yourself.
Okay.
You do a mudra because you're opening energy centers in your body to kind of formulate energy. So if you're doing a Ganesh mudra, you're trying to open up the prosperity centers in your body, and you're holding that to open that prosperity center in your body. So the mudras open channels, and it's like turning off and on circuits in your body when you use the mudras. What do you call it? The sigils are more about your subconscious mind. It's more about doing something through your subconscious mind and using it that way. So yeah, I would say when you're using the sigils, family, write it in another language, and that will give you even more power over your subconscious mind when you do it like that.
Right.
And learn how to say it out of your mouth as well.
Indeed. This is some good information, family. I hope y'all writing this down. They got so much to say in the chat and questions. I'm gonna get to Q&A a little early tonight, because I know this is important for everybody to know. Like we said, spells, haters out there is constantly trying to throw you off your game, family. So it's important that you are able to recognize game and recognize things, so you don't get caught up trying to please somebody, trying to make somebody happy, and trying to lower yourself for somebody else. So real important show. Thanks for the show. Make sure you hit the like button. Let's talk now, Brother Yosef, about spells and culture. So I want to ask you, in terms of spells and culture, let's say, we live in a society, we live in a conscious community, or we live in a culture where we know about all this stuff. We know about spells. We know about sigils and things of this nature. But let's say somebody comes from a remote part of the world that they don't even speak our English. They don't even speak the same language of us. They have no concept of any of this stuff. Now the spells work on everybody in our tribe because we're on that frequency. Now this person that's completely oblivious to any of this information, do you think that it will affect them the same way that it will affect people that's a part of the culture, or will it have some type of different effect to them because they have no concept of any of these things that we're talking about?
I would definitely say it would affect the person the same way.
The same way. Whatever
spirits they're using from their culture. Some people use, even a person like African American culture, we use hoodoo, right? We invented hoodoo, right?
Yeah.
And we use the hoodoo energy, which is really dealing with the nature spirits. And we use that energy and we attack somebody who live in Venezuela or France. It's going to hit them the same way. If they don't got no way to block it, energy's energy. It's going to hit them the same way. So I would definitely say, regardless of the culture, if you don't have some form of protection, right, and and be smart and realize no matter what you do in life, you could be a real estate agent, you know what I'm saying, and somebody may try to block you from selling houses or doing, you're going to have haters, especially if you're doing well. So always have some form of protection to block people. And I talk to a lot of people in consultation. Some people hold on to friends. I understand family, right? But some people hold on to friends that are very negative. I would definitely tell a person, if you have friends that are negative, let them go. Let them go, because everybody can't go where you're going.
Right.
You're elevating, you're growing, you're doing spiritual things. That person may not. They may hold you back and eventually hurt you one day. So you gotta let them go, family. You gotta let them go.
Sometimes let me ask you this question, Brother Yosef. Would you let somebody go? Let's say somebody in your family, you tell them some of the goals that you want to accomplish, and they give you it seems like they're trying to they give you a negative response, try to hold you back somewhat. And to give an example, Jay-Z said that, now I keep referencing Jay for whatever reason, but I'm just following my spirit. But Hov said one time that his uncle told him, man, you ain't never going to sell 1 million records. So that's why he came up with the line. My uncle said I wouldn't sell 1 million records. I sold 1 million records about 1 million times. Now, these are people we love, Brother Yosef, but they just may have a very limited mindset. How should we respond to people with a limited mindset, but they're putting bad intentions toward us? But they may not be that bad, but it's just the way they think. How would you handle somebody like that?
I would definitely say get away from them. It's get away.
Hey, because you get rid of everybody.
I don't play around, brother. I don't play around. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm gonna have my peace, brother. You know what I'm saying?
I see that's important.
I like to wake up in a state of gratitude.
Yes,
you know what I'm saying? And don't get me wrong, I got business I take care of. I got stuff, and I got good problems, and I give gratitude for those good problems. I don't want problems that I can't really control, or a problem that I don't really need to be dealing with. I got all this other stuff going on that I'm building on. Then I got to deal with this too. No. I get rid of you. You know what I'm saying? I don't play. Even I remember Bobby said, your family is like putrid feces.
Woo.
Your growth.
Woo.
You know what I'm saying? That stuck with me. I said, man, you know what I'm saying?
Feces. Woo.
Obby was like, get rid of all of them. You know what I'm saying? Your growth there's nothing more important than your evolution.
Yes.
No evolution. Everything down here is illusionary anyway. Why hold on to it? Hold on to your soul. Hold on to your soul. Focus on that. Focus on what you're doing and grow.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying? And grow. That's what brother, I don't play. I done lost friends. I would say even the past 4 or 5 years. I done lost friends, family. You know what I'm saying? I don't play. I'm keeping my peace, man. Keeping my peace, brother.
Brother Yosef, I feel the exact same way. My peace is everything.
Everything, man.
I mean, everything to me.
Right.
So when somebody tries to interrupt that, I respond accordingly.
Yes.
So
have to. And sometimes, when you respond, it takes you to a negative place. But sometimes that chaos is necessary to bring order.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So it happens like that, but that order coming.
Yeah.
That order is coming. You know what I mean?
No, definitely. Yeah. So, all right. So let me ask you this, Brother Yosef. So let's talk about money. and spells to get yourself the bag. This is something that everybody, obviously everybody has family, loved ones they want to take care of. Is it the same thing we talked about early, putting the right emotion into it? These spells, it applies across the board, regardless of what we're talking about, money, love, whatever. It's the same thing. It's just a different topic. Would you say?
Yes, the emotions apply across the board. These spells apply to everybody across the board. You know, when you're doing magic, you know, I usually tell people to get the Mount Tia book so you can learn how to slowly but surely build your energy.
Yeah.
I run into people sometimes, students that don't listen, hurt themselves, stuff happen. You know what I'm saying? And that's because a person don't want to do the work. They want to get it now. It's very dangerous to want it now when you're growing spiritually. You have to take some time and build those spiritual muscles, right? Because just like you go into the gym, you lift too much weight, you could break something,
right?
Pull something, you could be hurt. You know what I'm saying? So I tell people, you know, get into the Montauk Chia, right? And because he shows you how to do your energy. But if you can't, then you can work with your emotional energy that is attached to your Shin energy, which is your spiritual energy, and your emotional energy, which is hard to control as well. Don't get it wrong. The good ones now, the love, the peace, the joy is very hard, right? So when you tap into those energies, family, you can use those and have the same effect on your life and your family's life. So even when you're praying, right? Prayer is a spell, right? When you're praying for somebody, you're demanding and commanding good things happen for your family and great things happen for your children and your family. When you're doing that, you got to put your emotion into it. You got to put your emotion into it. You know what I'm saying? I pray a lot. I'm just going to keep it real. I pray to my higher self a lot. And my wife know I'll be in the room. Hey, I'll be yelling and everything. You know what I'm saying? It is what it is. I got to get it out. And I've always been blessed. I've always been taken care of, man. And I know some things wasn't my doing. It was something from a higher force.
You know what's beautiful? Damn, I don't want to forget the question I was about to ask. I don't forgot it because I'm gonna say it'll come to me. But it's beautiful when you just mentioned your wife. It made me think about my living situation and me being with my lady. And it's beautiful when you could do your magic and the person understands what you're doing and leave you the hell alone. Because I think that hurts a lot of people when they're into something and then their mate is always bothering them. Are you doing that again? No, that shit. It throws you completely off. Yeah. So to be able to do something and you live with somebody and you know that they completely understand, hey, this is my time to do me. You may not understand it, but just let me do what I do. I mean, that's a beautiful thing. And I really appreciate that about my relationship, that I do. Like you said, you be in your room. I do my weird shit and she completely understands. Rich is by himself. He's doing his weird shit. And I just, you know, and I do me. And I think that we all need that in this life. You know what I'm saying?
You know what, man? The first reading I ever had in my life was this white lady. I wish I could find her again, man. She was good. She read me like a book, man.
Wow.
And you know, when I walked in, she was shaking an amethyst stone.
Yeah.
And she's like, huh? She's like, I'm shaking the amethyst, and here you are coming in. She said, this is gonna be a spiritual con. I already know. I said, okay. And I didn't even say a word. She started telling me, yeah, your ancestors are helping you right now. And she's like, wow. She's like, you're going to be good. Wow. She's like, sir, you're going to be very good at magic. You're going to be very powerful. You're going to have students. I'm sitting here, this 2011. I'm sitting here like, yeah, right. You know what I'm saying? But of course I wanted to be good. And long story short, she looked at my wife. She said, you know what? She's going to be good too, but not as good as you. She's going to wonder a lot about why you do and what you do with magic a lot. She's going to leave you alone. She's going to stay out of your way. I said, well, that's all I need to hear.
Yes, sir. Exactly. Yes, sir.
You know what I'm saying? That's all I need to hear. You know what I mean?
Yeah, there it is. Let me ask you this. Since you mentioned Montauk Chia earlier, Yosef, what do you think about if a brother's out there just nutting everywhere? He's having sex. He's with this lady, that lady. Does that make him more weak in terms of being able to do magic or being able to manifest things? The more you release your semen, does that weaken you energetically when it comes time to do magic, my brother?
Yes, it does. Yes, it does. Because your chi is depleted. And this is why it's important every day to do some type of ritual or ceremony where you can raise up your frequency, like sun gazing, right? Do something that's going to fill back up your energy, because you just depleted yourself. And when you ejaculate, you pull from all five organs, you pull from all your organs, all your major organs, you pull from them, and they weaken for a while. You're going to need that if you're doing, if a dude just had sex and then he go and try to attack his enemy, it ain't gonna work. You know
Right.
what I'm saying? Or if you try to do something to bless yourself, it ain't gonna work because your energy's depleted. So you need to go build that up. So yes, understanding the sexual arts and learning how to hold your seed is important. Very important. I know a lot of people come to me about semen retention. The more you now, everybody know when you do that, you just be vibing. You know what I'm saying? And what happens is your aura is getting bigger. Your aura gets bigger and bigger and bigger. So it's the same way when a woman gets pregnant. When she has your seed inside of her, her aura is huge. I can always tell a woman pregnant, she's literally glowing. I can see her glowing like, oh, congratulations. You know, I mess with women sometimes. I say, hey, congratulations on the baby. And they just be looking at me like, I can just tell, right? So that's what it is, brother. If you just depleting your semen, your aura is you're shrinking your aura. You're causing yourself harm because you can be attacked at that point. So yes, if you're gonna do rituals and ceremonies and stuff like that, even spells, you need to have the energy, family. You can't deplete your chi like that.
Indeed. All right. Yeah, definitely. That's a good point. Pregnant women, they definitely got that glow, like a huge glow about them. So yeah, that's a great point. Family, we about to get to some Q&A because I want to give y'all a good amount of time for Q&A before we get out of here. Definitely appreciate it. But let me put your Cash App because if you dropping it like this, I need my people to show some love.
Yes. Also, if I could say something real quick, brother.
Yeah. Real quick, what's your Cash App before you say
$ capital B lowercase RO capital Y lowercase OSEF. Because the scammers, man, they trying to get
yeah, they be
fake pages. They got like 7 brother Yosef's out here.
Yeah.
I'm like, man,
yeah,
this is crazy. So
what you was about to say? You said you wanted to say something.
Yes, I want to say we're if I can say this, we're having an event, family, here in Houston, July 8th. If you guys want to come down, go check out my website, New Life Tools Tribal Ministries at gmail.com. New Life Tools Tribal Ministries.com. Go to any one of my videos, you'll see the link below the video. But yeah, we're doing something July 8th, family. Come on out. It's called the Mystic Mind Conference, family. I'm gonna be dropping some jewels in there. Mystic Mind Conference.
All right, we're gonna get to the first question. I see a good one. Where did it go? Okay, here we go. Do spells require words to be effective, or is my thought enough?
That's a good question. That's a very good question. I would say that you have to be extremely advanced to just think a spell into existence. It's possible, though. It's possible. But usually I would say you will have to use your words, family. Use your words and speak them with power and authority.
They want to know what's the name of the book from Montauk Chia. Oh, no.
The book I would tell you guys to start with is my favorite, which is my favorite still to this day. I still go back and read it. The Fusion of the 5 Elements. Okay. They have some practices in there that can raise your energy up. The smiling down technique, which I have been doing for like 10 years now. Smiling down technique, where you smile down into your organs and you fill them with energy. So I love that technique, family. So Fusion of the 5 Elements, Montauk Chia.
Yeah, I see a lot of good questions. Just one of them shows. This is a lot of people resonate with this information.
Oh yeah,
I'm glad. I love when y'all really into the information and y'all got some questions. Somebody wants to know. My son Darnell wanted to know: can you do spells using sign language?
Yes, you can. You can use mudras, and what I would say with that is, anoint your hands with holy oil. If a person's doing sign language, when you're going to speak the words, have the energy, right? Whatever energy you're using it for. And I would rub my hands with holy oil, right? And then do the mudras and do certain mudras pertaining to the spell. And that should give it more power, family.
What do you think about words like you mentioned land earlier, brother Yosef? Hold on, let me get this down. Do you feel as though words such as abracadabra is still effective?
Oh, absolutely.
So yes. Do you use
yes,
that?
I use abracadabra.
Woo! There you go.
Yes, absolutely.
Okay. Absolutely. Now, why do you use it?
Because it's a word that's still said by many magicians, and it has a lot of power. Depending on what you're trying to do. Right? Some people may think some things are good. Some people think some things are evil. It all depends on what you're using it for. Right? Magic in itself is not evil. It's the person using it. What are you using it for? Right? You could say abracadabra and use it for something evil. You could say abracadabra and use it for something good. but that word is very powerful. And yes, you can still use it for spell work.
Somebody said, "Is it it's Arabic?" I think that's an Arabic term. It probably came from the Moors. If it's Arabic, it probably came from the Moors. I gotta ask.
Yes.
I'm asking Rod
I
Hayes
can't
about
remember. It slips my mind right now, family.
Somebody said, with spells, do they have to rhyme?
No, but I'm glad you asked that question.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to rhyme, but if you make them rhyme, you give it more power.
Uh-huh.
You give it more power when you make it rhyme. So they don't have to rhyme. Like I said, prayer is a spell. You can be praying, right? But they don't have to rhyme, family. But when you do make them rhyme, like prime example, the first system I got into to teach myself basic forms of magic was Wicca. I always say that, right? And in Wicca, they have certain things that rhyme, and they end it with, blessed be and all this stuff, right? So when their spells rhyme a lot, right? When they say certain spells and they over the pot and they say it rhymes, right? So back then I didn't really know I had to put my energy into it. And then over time I learned, I got to put my energy into it. And I will say this as well. Anybody doing a ritual or, empower each element that you're going to be using, a cauldron, a wand, a chalice, whatever you're going to be using, empower it. Put your emotional energy into it and then put it down. Put your emotional energy. It's going to help the spell work a lot better.
And to the person, I just want to add on that, ask this question. I remember when Yaki teaches about the coconut water, and he says the coconut water is structured water, and the water we get from the faucet is not structured water because of how it comes out the pipe. So I would say rhyming, when you rhyme with your words, that's structured sound. When you're just talking, that's like water coming out the pipe from your faucet. But when you start rhyming, it's like drinking coconut water straight from a coconut. So it's extra powerful, family. So definitely,
yes.
And we the rhythm nation. We are the best. Who rhymes the best? And you know what I mean. So obviously there's something to it. If we can't look at how the pimps, how effective pimps are when they talk to women. They hey baby, and they start rhyming. You
put a girl in the whole spell.
Yeah, put her in a whole spell from their rhyming.
Right.
So yeah, rhyming is very effective. Family.
Very effective. Yeah, that's a good point. You said structured words. You structure your words when you say that. Yeah. So if you are using English, family, I would say make it rhyme. So yeah.
Yes. So somebody says so. Wait, hold up. Okay, let me just ask you. Are you still making knives and wands, brother Yosef?
I am not making. I don't think I ever make knives, but my wands I don't make for people, but I make my own personal wands. But if y'all want the helm of all pieces, I will have those at the event. So
what's up with the wand? That makes things more powerful. What's up with using a wand for?
Like this is a wand a beautiful brother of mine created for me. It's a dragon wand.
Yeah.
And as you see it, he has the Hebrew words on there for me.
Hold up. Let me. All right. Show that again.
It's a dragon wand.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And he has the Hebrew words on there. My brother Yoel made it for me. Very powerful wand. And I only used it once so far, but the main purpose of a wand, family, is to project your energy and to command the spell that you're performing.
Right.
So if you are working a dragon spell, right, you can command certain energies using your wand. And also if you want to do defensive magic, right? If you know how to project your energy correctly, you don't need crystals and stuff all over it. You can just use words of power, right? You can use what they call mantras and put them on the wand. I love the way the brother put the dragon scale on I love that, man.
Yeah, that's I like that.
Yeah, the brother created it for me, man. And every time I hold it, my energy is already connected to it. So yeah, that's the purpose of wands, family.
Indeed. Yeah. All right. Let's see. Hold up. Okay. Can casting a spell from past lives affect your current life in this lifetime and beyond?
Casting a spell from a past life?
Yeah.
That is a very interesting question. I'm trying to figure out what spell would a person have from a past life. I mean, if it's a spell, of course, it can still affect you because some people carry over karma from past lives. So yes, I would say casting a spell from a past life still affect your current life. Absolutely. Because some people have, this is just the truth, y'all. Some people have hexes that's put on them through their bloodline that goes on for generations and generations, right? Generations, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's very effective, family. Very effective.
How do you feel? You know, and you talked about things that was been put on families for generations, Brother Yosef. How do you feel about the people in the bloodline who are obviously there to break generational curses? Talk to me about those. I mean, there must be a certain level of authority that they have in the unseen realm for them to even be there and be in that position. And sometimes people look at it as a curse, like nobody in their family understands them. But I guess depending on how you look at it, it could be the complete opposite. So talk to the people that are born here in this realm at this time, and they're born to break the generational curses, but they think they're cursed to break the generational curse.
Right. So yeah. So I want you guys to understand that everybody watching this video right now, you are the Christ of your family. You are born to break the curse. Everybody, I don't care who you are, how good you think your life is going. Everybody has a generational curse. I never met a perfect family, and I never met a perfect person. So you have a generational curse, whether you understand it or not. Sometimes it's health, sometimes it's finances, sometimes it's love life. Sometimes all the women in the bloodline may never get married. It could be a generational curse. So what you have to understand is that whatever you struggle with the most, you have two generational. You have your generational curse, and you have your own personal karma. You need to fix. So I would tell a person, work on your own personal karma first, so you can be more equipped to work on the generational curses, right? And once you fix the generational curse, family, whatever children you have beyond, that bloodline is safe. That bloodline is christened to a certain extent. That bloodline is pure. And any children coming through that bloodline in your family will be pure. That's how you save the family bloodline, like that. So everybody watching this, you are the Christ of your family. And y'all know what Christ went through, right? As an example. So y'all going to get mocked, ridiculed, all that. It's okay. It's all part of the program. Just understand that you're born to break the curse. You know, no sense of whining and crying about it. It is what it is. You're born to break the curse. Just get to it. Unless you want to keep coming back down here over and over and over and over and over.
Right. Wow, what a show, y'all. Ain't this some shit here tonight? What a show. When I start getting hyped like this, y'all know the energy. If y'all can see the whole spectrum, the light spectrum, y'all can see mad energy around me right now. This is beautiful. Brother Yosef, I got to ask you this. All right, so in this society, Brother Yosef, smoking marijuana, you can tap into the spirit world with marijuana, but you don't want your child 5 years old smoking marijuana. So it's age-appropriate things. Maybe you may engage in alcohol when it comes to ritual time, but you don't want your 5-year-old, 6, 10-year-old drinking alcohol. So you wait till they get a certain age to tell them about certain things. Is that the same thing with spells, Brother Yosef? Are you going to wait to 18, 21 to tell your daughter about casting spells? Because just like alcohol and just like marijuana, she has to be a certain age to understand the power that she's dealing with?
That's a good question, brother. Yeah, absolutely, man. Absolutely. My daughter asks me now, she'll ask me stuff like, Dad, what's a demon? Can I talk to one? I'm like, absolutely not. And this would be something she heard about on TV. She's watching some Mario Brothers thing on YouTube, and a lightning hit this guy. He's like, yeah, he's a demon now. And she's it interested her, right? So she's done the ancestor work with me and stuff like that, and the mudras, and that's where I keep her at right now. But I'm stopping her from doing the rituals, because if she don't know what she's doing, she can injure herself. She may not be fully developed to understand what this is. Now she can participate in family rituals when the parents are there. But yes, so the parent, I think the main reason why people do that is because the child is they're still growing in their consciousness. They're too undeveloped to participate in something that could possibly have them addicted or have them totally messed up. You know what I'm saying? It could have them traumatized. So I don't want my daughter exposed to what demons are yet. One day she'll understand. I don't even want her exposed to, I don't let her touch my wands, none of that stuff. I don't want her touching none of that stuff, right? So I put my wand next to my daughter's bed one time when she was having nightmares one time, and I supercharged it, did all kind of stuff, and I put it next to her. I told her, don't touch it. You touch it, you're gonna get a whipping. You're gonna get a spanking. You know what I'm saying? I threatened her. You know what I'm saying? And I wasn't gonna do it, but I was threatening her. You know, I was like, don't touch it. She's like, okay, Dad, no problem. And her bad dreams went away. But so there's things like that. But she's still curious. She's sitting back. I see her looking at me, right? She's knocking on the door. Dad, what you was doing in there? Don't worry about it, baby. You'll learn later. So yeah, that's what it is with the kids, man. That's what it is, man.
All right. Let's get to this next question, brother. Can sounds, frequencies, music, or silence enhance your spells?
Yes, absolutely. Because of the vibrations, they can raise the frequency. So you can actually play drumming music to let's say Obatala. Say you're doing a spell and you're trying to raise your frequency. You're playing drum music to Obatala. Obatala energy can come in and bless it. You know what I'm saying? He may like the song. He may like what you're doing. Right? So yes, you can actually do the drumming, the nature music. You can the sound frequencies. I love 528 hertz. You can play all that stuff and actually raise the frequency, man. So yes, it can empower the spell. Yes, absolutely.
Is it best to do spell work on a particular cycle of the moon?
Yeah, of course, absolutely. You can do different spell work on different types of the moon, but to make it more simple, I usually tell people, do the spell when you want something. Do it during a new moon, right? And send it into the black hole of the new moon, right? And when the moon becomes full, your spell will manifest. The spell will manifest in 28 days. That's a very powerful, simple moon spell you can do if you get confused about the waning moon and the waxing moon and what they represent. So yes, I would say do that starting out and then slowly just understand what the moon means.
Somebody wants to know, how can I break the curse?
I'm not sure what curse you're dealing with, family.
Yeah.
I don't know what you mean by the curse, family.
Okay. Can the wand and white supremacy institutions? you know that was coming.
I guess so. Can a wand and white supremacy institutions? Look, brother, magic can do, and I'm telling you this, magic can do anything. But some things are meant to happen. Some things are meant to happen. One thing I tell people all the time is that sometimes human beings need to get somebody to put their foot on their neck for them to do better, for them to rise, for them to want things. And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm the type of person, I'm not worried about no white supremacy because I can do anything I want and nobody can stop me. Nobody, I'm telling you right now, nobody can stop me. Ain't no white man that can stop me from doing nothing. That's a fact, because and as a so-called black man, we shouldn't fear white supremacy anyway. If we work together, and that's the hard part that we have as a people, is coming together, and that's by design. Don't get it twisted. That's by design. But if we can come together and make our thing work, then we can take over everything. But at the same time, if you can't come together, then make your own thing work, right? Then make your own thing work. So yes, brother, I do believe the wand magic can end white institutions. If you get the right magician. I'm gonna talk about this in my lecture about these group of magicians who are so powerful, you know what I'm saying, that they make them stay in a certain country. They can't even leave. And I'm gonna prove this. Yeah, right. Absolutely. I'm gonna prove this. I don't want to give it away, but
the lights went out when you said that, man. They must be right. Man, who these dudes you talking about?
So yeah. So I believe that, but that's not the goal, because once you evolve in consciousness, you can care less about that type of stuff, family.
Indeed. Oh man, wow, good show. Let's see. Somebody wants to know, where's it at? Can you speak on the Yoruba system?
Yeah, I'm not sure what the person want to know, but the 7 powers of Africa, Obatala is the main supreme deity. You have Papa Legba is the gatekeeper. Usually when you do a ritual, you will have to talk to Papa Legba first, do a whole ritual for him. I mean, I don't know what a person want to know about Yoruba, but it is a West African science. It's a very beautiful science and probably one of the most powerful African sciences there is in the world.
Somebody wants to know, where did it go? And I guess we alluded to this earlier, but I want to answer this person's question. How to break financial curses?
How to break financial curses? That's a good question. That's a mindset, family. That's something I had to break myself. My family, I came from poverty. When I was a little boy, I had to let my brothers eat cereal before me. We all had one spoon in the house. just one spoon.
Wow.
We had to, I had to let them eat cereal, then I ate my cereal. You know what I'm saying? I remember with cereal, you had to put the powdered milk in the water and mix it up and make it. I remember all that.
Wow.
Apart from that, my grandparents was poor, great grandparents was poor. Never had farmland, none of that. So me and my brothers today, we're all doing extremely well, and we all had to break that cycle. So the way it starts, family, is your mind, right? You have to get into the mindset that you know how 50 Cent said, and I still love this, man, because I use this myself. He said, "Get rich or die trying." Whew. That means that it wasn't nothing in the universe that was going to stop this man from getting rich. So I tell people, be spiritual or die trying. You know what I'm saying? Do anything you want or die trying. Get serious with it, where there ain't nothing more important than your wealth or your finances. Read the books. Surround yourself with people that's elevating financially, right? There's no ritual of course, there's spells you can do to get money real quick. We're talking about financial wealth and building generational wealth. If you want to do that, family, get your mind right first. Read the books. Understand what finance is. That's what I would tell you.
Can my ancestors assist in my spell doings?
They can, family. But your ancestors will have to understand what it is. They will have to understand what magic is. Some of our ancestors don't really know what we're doing. The best thing your family can do is shield you to a certain extent. Your ancestors, when they get strong, they can shield you from negative entities to a certain extent, but they're only so strong. They're like your first line of defense.
Okay. Let's stay on topic with some of the questions. I see some of y'all asking about things because it's such a good we in such a good flow with this spell talk. Y'all asking me about the shape of the earth and stuff like this. We're not talking about that. We ain't talking about that right now. But let's stick to the topic. That's how you keep a flow going. I don't want to break this flow. That y'all know that's real important for me and my channel, the flow. I like to keep the flow. Let's keep it moving. Somebody wants to know. Where's I just seen it? Can your destiny prohibit the success of certain spells? I don't know if I understand that one.
Right. Because, I don't know if I understand that question either. Can your destiny prohibit the success of certain spells? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Are you saying like a spell that you want to do negatively and you have a certain destiny and the spirit may stop the spell from happening? I'm not really sure what you mean by that question, family.
Somebody wants to know, what do you think about jar spells?
I think jar spells are very effective. I've seen them work on people. Man, jar spells are very effective. Honey pot is probably the most popular. The honey pot ritual, where you want to make somebody sweet towards you. Maybe you got a court case and you want the judge to rule in your favor. You shake the honey pot. You make the honey pot. You shake it. You may want somebody to like you, to pay you more attention. People put them, they start liking you like that. So I would say that jar spells are extremely effective as long as you're doing correctly. I know a lady that did a jar spell and she cursed herself by putting her urine in it. She cursed herself. That's all I'm gonna say about that.
Let's keep it moving. Thoughts or advice on using the magical seals of Solomon?
The magical seals of Solomon are very effective when you're dealing with planetary magic. I don't use the seals of Solomon anymore. I'll say this: there's some forms of magic I stopped using because like magical squares, the seals of Solomon, because I found other things that were more effective and more powerful that I could use, like making my own sigils. You know what I'm saying? It became more effective than using the seals of Solomon. Make your own seal. And I promise you, your own seal for you will be more powerful than the seal of Solomon. I promise you that.
Do you think, I remember Bobby Hemmett, Brother Yosef, used to talk about melanin being chaos, and it's always moving, it's always moving. And he talked about our music and how that's why, because we're melanated beings, that's why we'll create something and we keep it moving. So we'll create jazz, we keep it moving. We'll create rock, then we'll keep it moving. We'll create hip hop or house, and then we'll keep it moving. Is it the same way with magic? Like if you create a magical spell, is it only going to work for a certain while because we're chaos beings, so we got to keep it moving? All right, that shit worked in 2005 to 2008. So now you got to create something new. Then you got to create something. You got to continuously create new things when it comes to this magic.
Okay, that's a good question, man. So it's like when it comes down to spells, right? When you do spells and rituals, these things are you're a hacker. What you're really doing, family, is you're
Ooh.
hacking into the system.
I like how you said that. Okay.
Yeah, you're a spiritual hacker. I always tell people, it's people who cast spells, you're hacking the matrix to make something work in your favor.
I like that.
Right? Because when you really look at magic, it's really all computer science. I promise you.
Woo! It is.
I promise you.
It is.
Magic is really all computer science.
Damn.
So if you want to know,
magic is computer
I'm giving
science.
away one of my secrets here. It is what it is. Go ahead and give it.
This is gonna be a good one. I can feel it. Go ahead.
If you study computer science, you will understand magic on a deeper level. That is a fact. You know what I'm saying?
I knew it was coming.
So it's because a spell is nothing but it's a program. Yeah. Right? You're putting a program, you're hacking the system to put your own program in it to make something work for you.
Yeah.
Right? So understand that's what that is. That's when we talk about the mystical mind. You start hacking yourself and use your subconscious mind to do what you want to do to your own body to evolve yourself as we move into this fourth dimensional energy. Right? Yeah. So when you're dealing with the magic, family, that's all it is. You are a spiritual hacker.
Excellent.
Right? And that's why the government don't want you messing with it, because you could change something that they trying to implement. Yeah. So the brother earlier said, can the one do it? Yes, it can, brother. Yeah. You are a hacker. You're part of the matrix. Yeah. Right? You are Neo. You're supposed to hack into the system and make it work any way you want to make it work. Yo. I promise you, every time once I figured out how to do spells and understand that it was really, you're talking, like I said in my live stream the other night, Mother Earth is nothing but artificial intelligence anyway. Mm-hmm. Mother Earth is a higher form of artificial. If this world is a hologram that we live in, mm-hmm. Mother Earth has to be some type of artificial intelligence program that works for everybody. So now you gotta look at your body and say, what type of biological high level intelligence is this? We call it organic, but what really does organic mean? Ooh. Right? What does organic mean? Because a strawberry can be hacked. Damn. A strawberry, you can hack a strawberry. That's just a fact, right? Damn. So what really is a strawberry? Study computer science, family.
Family,
it will flip the whole game.
Family, I promise y'all, watch this one again. This is one of them shows, y'all. I promise y'all, watch this one again, and you'll thank me later. This is one of them shows, y'all.
They're doing technological magic already on you every day when they're messing with nature. That's tech magic, because nature is technology. Yeah, it's just a higher form of technology that we haven't caught up with yet, because somebody extremely advanced built this. Everything that we live in. Mm-hmm. Somebody built it for us. So our job is, if you want to get what you want, you become a spiritual hacker. That's all.
Let's get to where's it at? Okay, hold up. Oh man. Hold up, y'all. Damn, I just had the question, y'all. Oh, is witchcraft from God or source?
Both. Witchcraft is from God and the source. Witchcraft is witchcraft. You can look at it as another hacking system, right? It's another system you can use to hack it, and it was taught to us by, if you want to call them extraterrestrials or gods, right? Somebody gave that science to the shamans from old. That shamans passed the information on to, if you want to say, Kemet or Sumeria. It's an argument between who came first, and then it went on around the world, right? And then people who know how to do magic, they created their own systems, right? So yes, what we call witchcraft, because a witch is a wise one, right? It's not negative at all. Witchcraft is not negative. What we call witchcraft is, yes, it's from God. It's from God and source, because everything goes back to the source. Even negative magic, right? Satanic magic, everything goes back to the source. Everything.
Yep. Oh man, wow. Okay, this is all right. This is a good one. Where is it at? Damn, the chat moving so fast.
I see that.
Okay. What does it mean if you come up with words from unknown languages when spelling? Good question. That has happened to me before. Good question.
So what does it mean when you come up with words from unknown languages when spelling? What is that? I'm trying to see. So that person is saying if it's a language that's not known,
yeah,
and they're trying to spell something out.
Or let's say you in the middle of doing magic or a spell, and just a word will come to you, but it's not a word in the English language. It may not make sense in the English language, but the spelling just came to you. I'll give you an example. One time the letters RZR just came to me, and I started and I was using it at one time in my life. I have no idea what it means, but it just came to me at that time. And you know how you do like that automatic writing where it's not you writing, but you're writing.
Yes.
So
Okay.
like, yeah. So like, you get.
I would definitely say that's your higher self.
Uh-huh.
Go with it.
Uh-huh.
Especially if you're in the middle of ritual and that just comes to you.
Yeah.
Go with it, family. Go with it. Write it down. That's what I would say.
All right. Let's see. Well, we're gonna do a couple of more questions, y'all. A couple more, then we're gonna get in. Okay. Somebody wants to know, how long does it take for spells to work?
Oh, okay.
She in a rush. She ain't got no. She in a rush, Yosef. She
Right.
need this shit to work.
Like, I gotta get it
today.
done. I gotta
Yeah.
get it done. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
once again, family, that depends on how much energy you put into a spell. Some people do the spell and they walk away and they wait for it to work. It don't work like that. Spells don't work like that. Spells work by when you do the spell, the energy you put into it. That's the part you can't forget. So if you're trying to do something for a love life or for a more money in your life or whatever it is, health, you're trying to increase your health, you need to put a high vibrational healing energy into that and to make it work faster. And the more energy you put into it, the faster it comes. So it's just like the law of attraction. The law of attraction, they'll tell you, hey, put your emotions into it.
Yes.
Imagine if you want a new car, imagine being in that car. Imagine how the leather feels in your hand. Imagine the smell of the car. Imagine what it feels like driving down the highway and then watch it come to you.
Yeah.
So that's what I would say, family.
Yeah. When I would say, just to add on that, brother Yosef, to the sister Yvonne, I hope I'm saying your name right. When you're doing it like that, and you hear the brother, and you've heard me throughout the years, this word emotions keep coming up. When you're able to do these rituals and these spells with the emotion, that's the victory within itself. You don't have to wait for it to happen. It happened. It just didn't happen in the 3D realm, but it happened in a quantum world, in another dimension. That's the victory. We waiting for the victory when it finally manifests in 3D form. No, the victory is just us being able to do it within itself. That's the victory. Being able to feel the emotions before the actual event occurs. Man, that's a hell of a victory, y'all.
For every action, there's a reaction.
Yeah.
So it's impossible for a spell to not work. It's all about how long it may take.
Right.
Like I said, when you first cast it, you cast it in the quantum realm first. In the astral plane, you cast it there first, and then it comes here. That's how it works, family.
Yeah. Let's I just seen the question. Where did it go? Okay, somebody says, is America under some type of spell, or did the original Native Americans put a spell on America?
I would definitely say America's under a spell because it's got too much blood on its hand. Even though they're doing things in secret, everybody know America is guilty of a lot of crimes, whether they admit to it or not. And I definitely would say some of the shamans put spells. I remember the city that I'm from. We had people don't know this, but we had the first indoor mall in America in my city I'm from. And what happened was they built the mall. Y'all can go get a book called The Secrets of Rochester and the Mystery of Hoodoo Corner. That's the name of the book.
Wow. The
Secret Legend of Rochester and the Secrets of Hoodoo Corner. When the mall was built, Walt Disney came to the ribbon cutting. This is like back in like 1930 something. So what happened, family, is that they built the building on top of Native American burial grounds. And the Native Americans said, do not do that to our ancestors.
Right.
Or we're going to curse you. And, you know, they wasn't paying them no attention. They didn't believe in none of that stuff. This goes to show it works. So they built a certain part of the building was actually sitting on top of their land. Do you know every person, and it's written in the book, every person who actually had a building there, who had a store, they died of a heart attack. They died.
Damn.
To the point where they had to end up closing the whole section. I remember being a young kid too, walking through there, and it used to be open. It was called McCurry's, and then they just closed it. They closed the whole wall off because people kept dying.
Damn.
So yes, they did put hexes on certain places and things because they don't like to be disrespected. So yeah, absolutely.
All right. Somebody wants to know, what are the best protection spells for self and household?
One of the best protection spells you can do for your household, for yourself, I would tell a person, like I always tell them, get you that Helm of All, very powerful protective shield you can wear. A pentagram is very powerful. You can get another symbol called the Supremacy of God. I can't never pronounce the original name. It's an African symbol. Start with a G. I can't never think of the name of it. But you can actually wear that as well. That's a very powerful protective symbol. The Ankh is a powerful protective symbol, and when you look at it, it will actually line up both hemispheres of your brain just from looking at the Ankh. It invokes life into your aura. The Eye of Ra, the Eye of Horus, and so on. So you can wear any one of them things to protect yourself, family. When it comes to your house, I'll give you guys the thing I talk about in my book, War Water, which is like when you want to keep negative spirits away from your house, get you a bottle of water, put some sea salt in there, put an old rusty nail in there, and put a piece of pyrite in there. Mm-hmm. And you're going to shake that up, let it get rusty, and spray it around your house, spray it around your doors. Negative ghost freak spirits, they hate iron. They can't stand it. They can actually smell it. So when you spray that around your window, it's going to keep all the stuff away. So I will tell you to do that as well.
Okay, we're going to do 2 more questions and we out of here, family. Somebody wants to know, do the foods you eat affect your spell work?
That's a good question.
Yes,
that's a good question.
Yes.
So I would definitely say when you're going to be doing spells to not eat a lot of food because you're going to use a lot of energy. If you're a real magician, you're going to put a lot of energy into your spell work. So I would tell you to drink more like today I'm drinking some green drinks. Drink some more of that. Probably eat once in the morning. And if you're going to do a serious spell that evening, don't try not to eat so much. Don't do rituals on full stomachs and stuff like that, family. That's what I would say.
Last question for the night, family. Ooh, what a show. Are spells more effective when you do it or done by a spell specialist, shaman, or hex or druid, or someone like that?
That's a good question as well. I would definitely say a spell is more effective by doing it with somebody when someone does it who knows what they're doing, right? But the most powerful person who can perform a spell or a ritual for you is always going to be you. Sometimes, depending on what a person's going through, I'll tell them, hey, go see a shaman. They can help you, right? Mm-hmm. Go see a priestess or a priest. They can help you, right? And some of the people can help them. But when it comes down to, that's why I push people, learn magic, learn it for yourself so you can do your own spells and rituals and it can be more effective from you. There's nothing that can work more powerful than you than when you do it yourself. That's a fact, family.
Indeed. Hey, family, man, what a show. I mean, what a show. Yeah, what a show. Yosef, anything you want to leave with the people before we get out of here tonight, my brother?
Yeah, I just want to thank everybody for coming on tonight, man. We had a really great show tonight, man. I had a lot of fun tonight. Once again, family, y'all can hit me up, newlifetools@gmail.com. Y'all can hit me up on my website, New Life Tools, my YouTube page. As well, Patreon family, y'all can go to any of my videos and click under there. You'll see everything you need. Also, July 8th, family, we have a conference down in Houston, the Mystic Mind Conference. Come on out, family. We're going to have a good old time.
Indeed. Hey, family, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. Make sure y'all show the Cash App some love for the channel for providing this. This was a legendary show right here. Make sure y'all show the Cash App some love. Brother Yosef, I can't thank you enough. When I thought of this topic, I said, I told Yosef before we start the show, I said, I forgot to tell him what the show was about. I didn't even tell the brother. Usually I call the person, I'd be like, yo, let's do a show on this. You cool with that? They'd be like, yeah. I didn't even tell the brother because I just, in my mind, I'm like, he could do this with his eyes closed. and look what happened tonight. I mean, this thing go deep, y'all, and I know y'all enjoyed yourself. Watch this one again, y'all. We all could learn from this one. Any books, Yosef? Any books before we get out of here?
Let me see. Pertaining to spells, man, I got so many books in my head. Let me see.
Just one or two.
Okay, let me see one. I like. I can't even think of any, brother. It's so many spell books. I haven't opened a spell book in a long time, man. I would definitely say if a person want to see more spells, right, that I've done throughout the years, come to my Patreon channel, family. Y'all can get all the spells all the way back to 2021. I gave away tons of spells at work. Mm-hmm. I just don't read a lot of spell books anymore because I do them all in my head now.
Yeah.
Once you understand the basic science, you can create any spell you want, family.
What's your Patreon again, brother?
Brother Yosef on Patreon. I'm Brother Yosef on Patreon.
Okay. Y'all got it there. Hey, family, thanks for tuning in this Saturday night. Go do your thing. Go do your magic tonight. Be safe. Enjoy yourselves. And I'll see y'all next time, family. We get out of here. Peace.
Peace, family.
All right.